Are you feeling alone right now? If you are, listen closely, because this message is for you, not to cheer you up with empty optimism, but to show you what the Stoics knew, what Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, discovered in silence. You may be surrounded by people and still feel disconnected, or you might truly be by yourself, with no one to call, no one who understands. But in either case, what you're feeling is not weakness. It's not failure. It's part of the human experience, and you are not alone in feeling alone. Marcus Aurelius, in his private meditations, often spoke to himself, not to others. That's what we forget. The meditations were never written for an audience. They were notes to the soul. He faced immense responsibility, constant war, betrayal, disease, and personal loss. And yet he returned to the page, again and again, asking himself how to endure, how to rise, how to remain calm. And in the quiet between battles and betrayals, he confronted the same feeling many of us face today: isolation. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul, he wrote. That wasn't poetry, it was survival. The Stoics understood something most people today still miss. They knew that being physically alone is not the problem. It's being disconnected from yourself that hurts the most. It's when you've lost that inner dialogue, that sense of center, that grounding in who you are. That's when loneliness stings. So the answer, they said, was not to run from solitude, but to enter it fully, intentionally, and transform it. Right now, wherever you are, take a breath. Close your eyes. Imagine Marcus writing by candlelight, surrounded by silence and uncertainty. He didn't run to others to fix him. He went inward, and you can too. Because solitude is not your enemy. It's your teacher, and the more you resist it, the more it hurts. But when you lean in, when you face the stillness, you discover something hidden, your strength. There's a reason so many people today are addicted to noise, to screens, to scrolling, because silence forces you to feel, and feeling reveals the truth. But that truth can heal you. That truth can anchor you. Marcus wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What thoughts are coloring your soul right now? Are they judgments, fears, regrets, or are they grounded in wisdom, clarity, peace? Because you can choose. Yes, you. You can choose to reshape your inner world, no matter what your outer world looks like. Loneliness says, you are missing something. Stoicism says, you have everything you need within. You were not born lacking. You were born whole. And the world may abandon you, but your reason, your breath, your power to choose, those remain. Those are yours. That's why Marcus kept writing. He was reminding himself, I am enough. I don't need the crowd to validate my worth. I don't need the applause to know I'm walking the right path. I need only my conscience, my courage, my clarity. Think about your own life. How many times have you compromised who you are just to fit in? How many times have you silenced your truth to avoid being different? And did it work? Or did you just end up more alone, in a room full of people who never really saw you? The Stoic path is different. It teaches you to stand alone, not out of pride, but out of peace. Because when you stop fearing solitude, you start living in truth. And when you live in truth, even one moment of peace is worth more than a lifetime of pretending. This loneliness you feel, it's not your enemy. It's your invitation, your soul calling you back. Not to distract yourself, but to rebuild yourself, to listen again, to connect again, not just to others, but to life, to nature, to the quiet strength inside you that no one can take. Marcus wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." He meant that we spend so much time worrying about who accepts us, who approves of us, who stays and who leaves. But that's not the game. The real work is here, in this silence, in this moment, becoming who you are meant to be. So the next time you feel alone, don't ask, "Who's missing?" Ask, "What can I find in myself? What am I ready to learn? What am I strong enough now to face?" Because you are strong enough to sit with your thoughts, strong enough to weather silence, strong enough to become whole without needing to be completed. If you're still watching this, then something in you already knows. There's more to you than the pain you feel. There's wisdom waiting behind the ache, and there is power in the pause. That's the gift of Stoicism. It doesn't take your loneliness away. It makes it meaningful. It shows you that you can be with yourself, not as a punishment, but as a path to peace. You are not alone, not in what you're feeling, not in what you're facing, because Marcus Aurelius walked this road, and through his words, through this philosophy, through this message, you are walking it too. So stand tall, breathe deep, and take this silence as your sacred space, your place to return to who you really are. And here's something more the Stoics would urge you to do. Look at this solitude not just as time alone, but as training. Mental strength isn't built in crowds, it's built in quiet. The strongest people you'll ever meet are the ones who sat with their thoughts until they became friends with them, who stayed long enough in silence to hear their soul's voice. You are doing that now. With every second you sit in stillness, you're building an inner fortress. You are learning to rely not on approval, but on principle, not on comfort, but on character. Marcus wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. That includes loneliness. The moment you stop seeing it as a threat and start seeing it as a teacher, everything changes. Maybe this is the season where people drift away, where relationships fade, where the noise dies down. Let it. It's okay, because this silence is not empty. It's full of you, of your essence, of your untapped wisdom, your unspoken strength, your unshaken truth. Let this be the moment you stop fearing your own company. Let it be the chapter where you reclaim it, not as a fallback, but as a foundation. Because once you know who you are alone, no one can tell you who you must be around others. And when the world gets loud again, and it will, you won't be shaken. You'll have a place inside yourself you can return to, a home that no one can invade. That's what Marcus found. That's what you're finding now. The loneliness you feel is a portal, not a prison. It's a mirror reflecting what matters most. Maybe this moment of separation is actually an invitation to deepen your connection to life. Go outside and witness a sunrise. Listen to the breeze move through the trees. Watch birds or water or the clouds passing above you. Nature doesn't seek attention, but it exists fully, like you can, like you must. If you can learn to be with yourself in quiet, you can be with anyone in strength. And when you're no longer afraid of silence, you finally hear what matters, the lessons, the truth, the call of purpose. Because that voice inside you, that whisper of calm, of clarity, that is who you are without the noise, without the mask, without the need to perform. The world is full of distraction, but very few people are truly present. Choose presence. Choose now. You've been gifted this moment, this message, this stillness, for a reason. Answer it. Be brave enough to pause. Be wise enough to listen. Be strong enough to walk forward, not into noise, but into peace. If this message speaks to you, subscribe to Stoic Preview, like this video. Share it with someone who's struggling with silence. And in the comments, write, "I am not alone." Let the world see that solitude is not emptiness, it's strength. You are not alone. You are just beginning. Let's walk this path together.